audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, so I have been giving mocks lately. So there are certain questions are mainly inference based. So what happens is like when I'm seeing the solution, I am kind of finding it difficult to agree with their logic. So how did you actually adjust to this while you were taking the mocks actually?
Okay. So, how much percentage of syllabus have you completed already before you have started taking mocks? A brief idea.
No, I have started giving since last year. So yeah, the percentile was
Okay.
not good. So this year is kind of my revision.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
have been clocking around 98 percentile, 97 percentile like that.
Okay.
So some inference based questions mainly, like it's becoming inconsistent. Like I'm attending some sets. So if it's inference based, the RC, so what happens is like there are 5 questions. So out of them 3 goes wrong. Some means it happens sometimes because I totally misinterpreted it. And when I see the solutions, I'm kind of not means I cannot agree to that means others' logic that how is he thinking that way. So that's what I'm finding it difficult.
So that is, I think, the problem that I also faced when I was taking mocks. So what I did was, I was also so much confused that how to agree with their logic. I was taking AIMCAT at that point in time, and really the solution were really different from what I was thinking. So I used to sit with my friends or my mentor who got those questions correct, and then we discussed like what can be the approach that they are thinking about, what can be their pattern of thinking because of which they arrived at this solution. Because see, when you are analyzing a mock, in the solution it might have they might not have given that in a comprehensive manner, they might have just written it in a brief manner. So when you are referring to the solution, you might not get a clarity there. Or if you are referring to the video solutions, you might get a clarity in a better manner as compared to the previous one. But it is always better to sit with someone who has taken those mocks just like you and who have gotten those answers correct. So I think in that manner, if you argue with someone, if you like healthy argument, if you discuss with someone, then you can get the right approach, and then you can make your peace with it. Like, okay, I have to think like that when I'm referring to those questions, and when I'm trying to solve those questions.
Yeah, in fact,
Have you tried that?
No. This is actually okay. I will try. Yeah, for sure I will try.
In fact, this happens a lot with like many of the candidates. You would find it difficult, and sometimes even after the discussion, you'll find it okay, but I'm not like 100% sure of. But in fact, at the end of the day, you'll have to make peace with it. That is what we would advise. And it happens with everyone. So it is not like it is happening for the first time. It will happen and it will keep happening. But you need to understand from those students, or if you have any mentor, that what could be the correct way to reach this solution instead of like seeing. I think you're getting what I'm trying to say, that you should see whoever has gotten the question correct, what was their thought process and what was their chain of thought. That thing.
Yeah, okay, got your point. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, so those of
sure.
you who have just joined the meeting, you can start shooting your questions. Either you can type it out in the chat box, or you can simply unmute yourself and ask, whichever you are comfortable with. Yeah, so one question which I got in the last session, I would like to, Roshika, if you could respond to that. Someone had asked in the middle of the session that if they are finding it difficult to find the meaning of a couple of words in the RC, which are important to reach to the, like, which hold importance in the solution of any question, then how did you get past that if you don't know the meaning of that particular word?
So generally, I used to leave those type of questions in if I was not knowing the meaning of a particular word in that question. So generally, I try to escape regarding those questions. But what you can do is that you can get a feel of that word by reading the line after that after that line in the passage and the lines before that line in that passage, and then you can get an idea that what this word is about. So suppose there is a word which is very ambiguous and you don't know what this means, but in a particular line, if you're reading that again and again, you can get an idea like, okay, this might mean this with respect to passage, and then you can try to solve that particular question. But suppose if you cannot even interpret even after reading that line again and again, then I would advise that just leave it and do not try to attempt that question.
Yeah. So another question we have from Javeer is that he belongs to Hindi medium, and what can he do for VARC section? He's apparently doing good in the other two sections, but in VARC section he's lagging. So what can he do to improve his VARC?
Yeah, so see, you are from Hindi medium, that will not be an issue here if you practice RC every day. So nowadays, initially, like in if you are talking about CAT examinations some 5 or 6 years back, they used to ask like meaning of the words as well, like what do you call those questions? Vocab-based questions. But nowadays, they do not ask vocab-based questions directly. They might ask 1 or 2 questions following a passage, like what is the meaning or what is the synonym of this word or something like that. But generally nowadays, the passages are somewhat simpler as compared to if you will compare it with the previous year question papers. So what you can do is that you can practice more and more. You can read newspapers, especially like start with the easy ones. Do not just jump into the Hindu or the Indian Express. Just start with the simple ones. You can start with the Times of India or those newspapers, which you can make yourself comfortable while reading those articles. So what?
I think I would request all to mute yourself. There is
Guys, please mute your lines.
yeah, so that I think it's done.
Yeah. So what you can do is that always refer to the article section of a newspaper. So there you can get varying ranges of topics, like from politics, from anything and everything, like entertainment, sports. So articles will be related to a number of topics. So if you read those articles every day, you can make yourself acquainted with the passage and ability to read the passage. Now once you have achieved that comfort level, then I would advise you to read the passage online, because CAT, like you all know, that it is an online mode of examination. So it will be better if you read the passage online in an online mode on your computer, on your mobile. So try to get try to practice reading questions online, especially comprehensions, passage. You can download InShorts, Times of India app. So all those things will definitely help you in your VARC section.
Yeah, and
I think you can do that.
And I would like to add just a small point here. So that this would apply to many of the candidates, that once you're like, if you're reading newspapers, then if you're really weak, then start with the topics which you are like very interested in. Say if you're an avid follower of sports, try to read those sports articles. If you're an avid follower of politics, try to read those politics column, but gradually try to shift to other topics which you're not very interested in. Say if there is an article about architecture and those things. So because in CAT you'll encounter those kind of RCs, and what tends to happen with us is, if we are really interested in the topic, we are able to retain that section, we are able to retain that article by reading it even once. But if you're not very interested in the topic, you tend to zone out, and like even 3 lines after, you won't remember that what you read 3 lines earlier. So you need to study different kind of articles. That would like help you a lot in the understanding, and that would help you in the tackling different kind of topics in the actual CAT. Now Sejisha has a question, that isn't it better to do mocks after you've gone through the concepts?
Yeah, that's always better. Like I have also mentioned, like always try to cover 80 or 85% of your syllabus and then jump into taking mocks. Because if you'll start taking mocks since your start of a preparation, then it will not help you. You will be very disheartened that you are not able to solve a single question there, and you're not getting good percentile, and also you'll waste your mocks also. because you get around 20-25 marks of a particular coaching institute. So do not do that. Always try to go through the concepts first, always try to cover them as much as possible, and then try to take marks.
Yeah, a general rule of thumb you can proceed with is, like, if you have completed 80 to 85% of the syllabus, then you can start taking mocks and give yourself at least 2-3 months. Like, say if in the November last week the CAT exam is there, then August would be a good time to start.
Early September, yeah.
Early September, or like whatever works for you. Now Suvodi has a question that, ma'am, I'm scoring very inconsistently in mocks, scored 56 in VARC in one mock, and then in the next scored 22. So total score varied between 76 to 55. Felt very demotivated and quitting.
Yeah, so I think I've covered this part in the previous session as well, like how to score consistent in your mocks. So what you can do is that you can take the previous year CAT papers, suppose 10 to 15 papers of the previous year. If you can get it online also, or you can get it like through various other sources. So you can refer to those papers, and then you can see that the type of questions which are repeated every year. So as you mentioned that in VARC your scores are very inconsistent. So what you can do is that focus on para summary, para completion, or those type of questions which CAT asks every year. Like if you will see past 5 or 6 years papers of CAT, at least they ask para summary question every year, 1 or 2, para completion question every year. So just try to practice more and more, especially those questions. If you solve those questions again and again, you'll get the knack of it, and then you'll be able to get a consistent score. So you can make sure that you are able to solve at least those questions correctly. Now for RCs, what you can do is that even in RCs, some questions are very similar. See, passage will not be repeated. They will never repeat the passage, but definitely the questions following the passage, like what do you infer by this statement? So something like this. So type of questions, they repeat every year. So just focus on the type of questions. If you'll solve those questions again and again, if you'll solve some 10 to 20 mocks in which 10 to 20 RCs in which they have that same question, that what do you infer by this statement? And if you refer to the solution, you will know that, okay, how to approach this question, inference-based question. So then you can get a consistent score, I think. So you can do that.
Yeah.
And anything else you want to add, Alok?
No, I think that covered it quite comprehensively. And Vedika here has a question that how should you properly be done with the topic? Is solving the coaching material and previous year questions for that topic enough for you to be solving mocks for it? And then using the mocks further for that, is that enough?
See, it depends upon the student. I was always mentioned, like how to build your concepts or strategy. It always depends upon your learning speed, your grasping power, etc. So see, if you have a strong hold of concept already, then you can just solve the questions given by your coaching institute or whatever study material you are referring to, and then you can solve the questions in the mock, and then you can use them for your practice as well. But suppose you have no idea, no basics, no concept of a particular topic, then what you need to do is you need to start from scratch. There you cannot just jump into solving the questions from your institute or level 2, level 3 questions and then start taking mocks. You cannot do that because that will not help you there. So you need to identify the topics in which your concepts are already clear and the topics in which you need to start from the basics. So that work, I think you need to do for yourself. And then if it is working for you, then it's good enough. You can just start taking questions and then build your concepts in between. Or if it's not working for you, then just go through the topic or concepts once again and then start solving questions.
I think the technique that you told in the last session, that you should solve one sectional, I think you can suggest here that also. That would, I think, help.
Your video is pausing, I think.
Okay.
There's a network issue.
Yes, I was saying that in the last session, the technique that you were suggesting, that we, in the starting of our preparation, we should take one section. I think that thing you can suggest to her here. You're mute. You're on mute, Ruchika.
Yeah. So what you can do is that, I covered this in the last session. I think you were not here maybe. So what you can do is that even before the start of your preparation, you can take one sectional of each section, VRC, QA and LRDI. And then if one sectional is not enough, I will advise take two sectionals and then check the topics in which you are able to get the correct answers, and check the topics in which you are not able to get even a single question right. And then you can jot it down, and then you can get a fair idea that, like, okay, these are the topics in which my concepts are somewhat okay, and I can just start solving questions. I need not revise the concept. And these are the topics in which I need to go from scratch, start from scratch. So you can do that.
Prasanna here has a question. Hi, I have recently started taking mock. I include following points in my VARC section analysis. Please evaluate and suggest. One is the classification of the passage. Second is the classification of the question, like main idea, inference, evaluation, application. Third is which detail I ignored for or couldn't catch. Fourth is what makes a particular choice right or wrong. Fifth is does my reasoning matches with the solution provided. Sixth is the evaluation of role of various parts played in overall meaning. Please include more ways to analyze VARC things. I think first of all, I'll have to say it is like quite comprehensive which you are doing here, and I think this would, if you are consistently able to do this over like 10, 20, 30 mocks, then it will benefit you a lot. Ruchika, yeah.
I think that covers almost everything, and you need not do more. If you're getting a consistent score and if you're getting a good score by doing all those things, then that's enough. One more thing that I've already mentioned you can do is that you can check with your mentor or with your friends who have gotten the correct answer. You can sit with them, or you can just take an RC. Both of you can set a timer, and then you can solve that within a particular time and see the difference in the approach. So in that way, you can get a healthy discussion, argument, and the differences in approach as well. So that is one more thing that I would like to add here. Because that is, I think, if you discuss with a human being, if you discuss with your friend or someone close to you, then you get a better idea as compared to just bookish knowledge or just the knowledge, just the solution provided by the institute or the study material. I think at least for me that works. So I used to do that.
Yeah, and I think the thing which we mentioned earlier, that try to read various types of topics, so that in the actual CAT exam, if you are getting an article from any topic under the sun, you shouldn't be like feeling frightened that, oh, what is this, what kind of topic is this, I am not able to grasp this. So like reading various kinds of articles in the newspapers would help a lot, and you can inculcate this as a general practice, like reading newspapers from different topics. So that would, I think, help you in the long run. So Javeer says that reading speed crushes my scores in VARC. What to do and how to overcome this? The reading speed is his problem.
Yeah, so that will come through practice. Like you can, what I used to do is that I used to take one RC. I used to set a timer of 10 minutes. And my aim was that I will complete the passage, I'll complete reading the passage within 6 minutes. And then I kept 4 minutes for answering the questions. Later on, I decreased my time for reading the passage to 5 minutes and kept 5 minutes for answering the questions. So just like that, you can set a timer and you can practice every day. If you have time, you can just solve 2 or 3 RCs in a particular day. And don't take more than 10 minutes for a particular RC. And just like that, you can see that how many questions you are able to get correct within that span of time. So I think that will help you a lot in improving your reading speed, because see, in actual CAT examination, you do not have a timer for each question. You have a timer in total for a particular section. You have 1 hour, you have to optimize it depending upon your ability to solve a particular section. So there, it might skip your mind that you have wasted at least 15-20 minutes on a particular RC. So that is the problem here. And another thing that I would like to point out here is that you might need to develop your online reading habit. Like in actual CAT examination, what happens is that we're reading on computer, and because of that we'll lose the idea of we cannot retain the previous 10 or 20 lines that we have read. It just escapes our mind. So what you need to do is develop reading online, develop habit of reading online. So just try to read again and again anything and everything that you are getting from InShorts, from Times of India, from any other source that you can just find out on the internet. So that will help you, I think. Have you done that? Have you tried those things? If you have not, I will say that you can try these things.
Yeah. So Samhita here has a question. Like you said, you need to score consistently in mocks. I've been getting like 61, 65, 68. Is it good to start with? I've not finished like 70% of the portions.
Yeah, first of all, I will advise you that if you have not finished 70% of your syllabus, you should not take more and more mocks. It's okay if you have taken 2 or 3 mocks. That's okay to assess that where do you stand. That's completely fine. But do not waste your mocks now, because you have just 70% of your syllabus left. And if you are taking mocks now, it is not going to benefit you. And I think it's a good thing that you're getting a consistent score now. That means for those 30% of your syllabus that you have already completed, you have developed a good concept for those 30% of your syllabus. So you're getting a consistent score. That's a good sign. But again, do not take more mocks as of now.
Yeah, you should try to first like complete a bit more part of your syllabus. Like if you're able to complete 80% of your syllabus, then I think you can start taking mocks like more regularly. Okay. Divyansh says, is it okay to leave the DI part because most of the questions comes from LR?
Yeah, so DI part, you can say that most of the questions come from LR. It's not actually LR, it's a mix of DI and LR. So yeah, you can leave the DI part because nowadays CAT do not ask very calculative questions in which you need to do a lot of calculations or all those things. And also you have calculator in the examination. So you can leave some of the portion of DI, and mostly the questions are 70% LR based and 30% DI based if it is a mix of DI and LR. So you can do that. But again, do not just leave the DI part altogether, because it will hamper your preparation. It will hamper your scores. It might hamper your scores in the actual examination. You need to have a practice of solving DI questions as well, because in some questions, or I think 1 year in CAT 16 or 17, the question was quite DI oriented. So it might happen that they change the pattern and you will be totally screwed. So don't do that.
I was going to add that only that, okay, so past 2-3 years we are seeing that, okay, it is very LR heavy and only we need to get 16-17 questions correct to get 19, but all of these things can change in CAT 20 and you won't be able to do anything. Say the DI LR part comes very easy, then what are you going to do? And it becomes DI heavy. So I think you should not be willing to take that chance, and you should like it. Most probably it will happen that, okay, it will come LR heavy and it will be difficult, but again, that iota of chance, even it is there, you should, like I would not have been willing to take that chance. If you are preparing for CAT seriously and if you are like investing so much time in it, then there is no point in taking that much risk. Okay, Suvodi says, please throw some light on algebra preparation, facing difficulty in solving these modules, range, value of x related questions.
Yeah, so I think we can take that part later on, because we are keeping this session for mocks only.
Yeah, and briefly I would like try to practice more questions from algebra. Try to solve the algebra questions from 2-3 different sources and go through the concepts also. Say if you're following Arun Sharma or any other author of any other book or any other coaching material you're following, then try to finish up that module by going through the concepts and solving the level 1, level 2 questions gradually. And so if say you practice some 50 questions from algebra, then it will give you more confidence, and I think you'll be able to do better in the exam.
And generally the questions they ask from algebra are quite similar, like the pattern is similar. So you can, if you solve some 50 to 60 questions from algebra, say from previous year papers, then you will get a good idea like how to solve the algebra questions. And then if you'll practice those questions, I think you'll be able to solve those questions. And suppose you are able to solve questions from other topics and you are just not able to solve questions from algebra, then I will advise that leave that section, leave that topic for the time being, and see how much you are scoring if you are leaving that topic. Because it will not happen that in actual CAT they will ask all the questions from algebra or some 30-40% of questions from algebra. It will not happen. It will never happen. So you can take that chance, I think.
Navya has a question that is there any specific way to read RCs in VARC? How to read the RCs effectively? Any particular method?
So I used to read RC twice during the start of my preparation, because I was facing very much difficulty in getting the idea of the passage, getting the meaning of the gist of the passage. So what I used to do was once, like I used to read the RCs slowly, and then I used to read the RCs twice. So during the start of a preparation, you can do that. That way, you will develop a good reading habit also, and you will get an idea like how to understand the meaning of the passage. What does the author really signify? And then later on, you can improve upon your speed when once you have done once you have achieved the accuracy part. So you can do that.
I think I would like to. I had a somewhat similar approach. I think you can try that if that works for you. So what I used to do was I used to speed read the passage in the first go, like very, very speedily, just to get the gist of it. Not reading every line, every word, just like skimming through it, that I should get the general idea that, okay, what is the author trying to say? What is it about? Those things. And then I would read the questions and options, that these are the important parts that I need to focus on the RC. And then I used to go back to the RC and try to do. So this was my process. So you can try.
There are 2-3 approaches. Like you can check which one is working for you.
Yeah.
There are other approaches as well. Like some people, they just go through the questions first, and then they focus on those parts which are mentioned in the question. So they do not read the whole passage. But for me, it never worked, because if you do not read the whole passage, you might get the answers wrong. So I would advise that don't do that. Apart from that, you can just take one of these approaches which I mentioned or which Alok mentioned.
There are 2-3 approaches which people take, and I would suggest you that you try each one of them and see whatever is working for you and whatever is keeping you like patient, whatever is giving you a bit of mental peace in the, because the ARC would be the first section in your CAT exam, and it is very important that you should feel confident and you should feel at peace while attempting that section. Because if for some reason that section doesn't go well, then it is going to affect your next sections also. So I think try these couple of techniques and see what is working for you, and then like develop that method for yourself. Okay, Vedika has a question. What are the minimum number of questions to attempt for every section but with high accuracy to score above 95-99?
Yeah, so first of all, it depends upon the students who are taking the mocks. See, if the difficulty level is a lot, then the number of questions you need to attempt will vary. But considering past 4 to 5 years of actual CAT paper, I will say that to get a 95 to 99 percentile in VARC, you need to get 22 to 23 questions with 80-85% accuracy. So I attempted all 33 questions, 33 or 34 questions. Are there 34 questions in VARC? I think 34. So I attempted all the questions and I got, I think, 30 or 31 correct. So see, accuracy here plays a very important role. Do not just focus on attempting more and more questions, but I will say that safe bet is 25. If you have attempted 25 questions in VARC, that is a safe bet with 80 to 85% accuracy. And in DILR, I will say that 4 to 5 sets are safe. If you have attempted 4 to 5 sets, it will fetch you 99 percentile if your accuracy is 85 to 90%. And if you are attempting 3 to 4 sets with 80 to 85% accuracy, then it might fetch you 95-96 percentile. And in quant, you need to attempt a higher number of questions as compared to other two sections, because there are a lot of engineers also attempting for appearing for CAT examination. So I think for quant section, you need to attempt more than 25 questions to be on the safer side with good accuracy. So I think that will fetch you a good percentile.
Yeah, and I think as general rule of thumb, like don't try to go for the number of questions, because that would to chase the percentile, because that is not the correct approach, because the difficulty level would vary, and on the actual CAT day you don't know. So after CAT we get to know, okay, the DILR was tough, quant was easy, but while attempting the paper you don't know that. So you should try to attempt as much as possible and like hope for the best. It can't, like you can't go with the mindset that okay, I have to do 25 questions because this is the level of difficulty, this is how the students are going to do. So that
you can set a benchmark for yourself, like okay, I will attempt at least these many questions, but don't be too hard on yourself, because it might happen that CAT changes the difficulty level this year, so don't do that.
Yeah, Prasanna has a question. how you guys used to approach QA? I mean, where you just start solving the questions as they come, or doing the easy questions right away and coming back to moderate difficult questions after you covered most of the easy questions. I think in the session we addressed it, that if you're getting very good percentile, say in the mocks you're getting a 99 percentile consistently, then you can jump right into it and go for it without skimming through the paper, and you'll be able to say get 20-22 questions correct, and then you can attempt the easy ones. Or if you're not getting a very good score, if you're getting 95, 96, those kind of percentiles, then you can skim through the paper, and when you'll see many familiar questions, then you'll feel a bit more confident, and you can go for the easy questions first and then go for the difficult questions.
Yeah, and one more thing you can do is that search for the short questions, like one-liner questions. If you're not comfortable with lengthy questions, like for me, I used to get nervous when I saw lengthy questions. So what I used to do is, while skimming through the papers, I used to see that which questions are one-liners, and then I used to solve them first, and then went through the lengthy questions. So you can do that as well.
Yeah. Chandana has a question. I solved around 60% of syllabus in Quant from Arun Sharma when I appear for mock. When I appear for mock, I'm not able to solve even 5 questions in the exam. How do I improve?
Okay. So I think you need to build your concepts first, because your concepts are not clear. Since you are saying that you have solved 60% of the syllabus from Arun Sharma, it might be the case that you have jumped to the solution of the Arun Sharma while solving the questions if you're not getting the correct answer, or you might have solved just level 1 questions, you might not have solved level 2 questions. So just do that. Or one thing you can do is that I mentioned in the last session as well, try to solve the unsolved questions and see if you're able to solve it without timer. If you're able to solve it without timer, that means your concepts are sound and you are not able to handle that time crunch or pressure, mock pressure. And if you're able to solve that without time crunch, that means if you're not able to solve that without even the timer, that means you need to build upon your concepts first.
I think we'll take just a couple of questions more. So if you have any questions, please shoot, and then we'll conclude the session. Okay. Navya has a question. Okay. How to skim through a section in less time? It sometimes takes me more than 10 minutes, wasting a lot of time.
See, you need not read the questions. It just means, like in VRC, if you're seeing the passage, if you're skimming through the section, you just need to see, okay, this passage is from this topic. This passage is short. If you're interested in that topic, you can start solving with that particular RC. And if you see that if you're comfortable with solving questions which are short, like short RCs, then you can just skim through the paper and see, okay, these are the short RCs and I can solve these questions first and then move on to the next lengthy RCs. So you need not read the passage, or you need not waste too much time on while skimming through the paper. You just need to have an idea, like, okay, these are the questions in this section and these are the things in which I am interested, so I'll solve these questions first. So you need to do like that.
Yeah, if anyone has any more questions. Javeer says in mocks, when his score goes down up to 20-30 marks, this is a bit demotivating. So how to overcome that?
See, I have also mentioned previously that if your overall score is very less, then do not be disheartened. See your sectional breakup. It might be the case that you are getting a good score in a particular section. For 20-30, I'm not sure if you are able to do justice to any section or not. But don't be disheartened. It might be the case that you are not able to handle that exam pressure or that time pressure, or you haven't done enough practice to solve those questions.
Only
So
because
it
of
happens
VRC,
with everyone.
Everything is going down. He had just mentioned. I think only because of VRC his score is going down.
Yeah, so only because, as I told, like you
Yeah.
have seen your sectional breakup and other two sections are fine, then you can focus more and more. You can take more sectionals. You can work on RCs. You can set timer. You can solve 2 or 3 RCs a particular day, and then you can improve upon it. So don't be disheartened.
Yeah, VRC, in VRC your scores can fluctuate a bit, so don't get disheartened by that. The mocks are there for you to realize these things. They are not that the end goal is CAT. These are the means to the end. So these are here to help you to attempt the CAT better. So don't
And think of mocks Think of mocks as like it's the time when you can do your mistakes. It's the time when you can do hit and trial, and then you can see where do you stand to judge yourself, to assess yourself. So do not see mocks as something like, okay, this is the end of my world if you are not getting good scores in your mocks.
Okay. So I think we don't have any more questions. I'm not getting any. Can you share the PDF through the mail? It's a very primitive kind of document. We'll see. I think
It's not.
It's just something which we prepared. Like it has very very simple points, and I think we have most of it is like.
I think I have written an answer on Quora also, so you can find that most of the points are there in my answer. So you can refer to that.
Yeah. So I think we should conclude the session now. Yeah. Optimum number of mocks before CAT. So it depends upon you. If you have if you have time and you have completed the syllabus, then you can take more number of mocks. If you're not very proficient, then you can less number of mocks.
20 to 25 will be good, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So we would like to sign off now, and I hope that the
and we'll float a feedback form also. So please fill the feedback form to let us know that what we can improve in our further sessions, and it will benefit you guys as well as us. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you everyone.